Good afternoon, dear FishBase family. It is Nazli Demirel from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm very happy to participate in FishBase Symposium today, and I would like to present the impact of invasive species on marine environments, focusing on a sea snail, Rapana venosa invasion in the Black Sea. So let's start. So as the world population grows and the global economy expands, more goods are being transported across the oceans. This also means that invasive species are being moved around either through ballast water or by fouling ships. People have been introducing marine species to new habitats since they first started traveling across the seas. However, especially during the second half of the 20th century, new technologies and a huge increase in global marine trade have led to a rapid rise in the number of marine species being introduced to new places. According to an assessment, every day about 10,000 different species are transported around the world. Although thousands of species move to habitats outside of their natural range, only a small number actually settle permanently in the new environment. And even small number of these species grow in large numbers or spread over wider areas, causing negative effects on the ecosystems. These species are called invasive alien species. And invasive biology focuses on understanding why some species become successful invaders and how the invasion process works. Here the first diagram, this one, representing a theoretical invasion curve, the black line, during invasion process and its management. And the second one is a flyer by IPBES, shows that a native species in its natural range becomes an invasive alien species, having a negative impact on its new range caused by human activities. And the Mediterranean Sea is a marine biodiversity hotspot inhabiting over 17,000 marine species, with about 1/5 being endemic. However, Mediterranean is highly vulnerable to human impacts, including overfishing, climate change, and biological invasions. Shipping, aquaculture, and the opening of the Suez Canal have led to the introduction of over 1,000 alien species into the Mediterranean Sea today. So the first map shows alien to native ratio in the coastal areas, and the highest estimated values are observed in the Eastern Mediterranean. And the second map shows the impact level of human activities such as opening of Suez Canal and the shipping for species invasion. And this infographic also shows several invasive species around the Mediterranean. But I will talk about especially Black Sea today, and the Black Sea is located in the northeastern part, connected to the Mediterranean via very narrow Istanbul Strait, and it is unique because it has the largest oxygen-free body of water below 200 meters depth and contains hydrogen sulfide. The Black Sea is naturally rich in nutrients and supports high primary productivity, but it is also suffering severe eutrophication. Compared to Mediterranean, Black Sea biodiversity is particularly lower, but fisheries resources and fishing activity are the highest, especially around anchovy fisheries. Up to date, around 250 micro and macro alien species were reported in Black Sea. And one of the notable invasive alien species in the Black Sea is Rapana venosa, a marine snail that is originally from the Asian Pacific waters, including areas from Japan to Korea to Taiwan. As seen in the world map, the first record of Rapana invasion is in 1947 in Black Sea. If you check the second map, within 10 years, Rapana spread along the north to south, west to east in the Black Sea. It has since expanded its range further to include the Sea of Marmara and Turkish coast of Aegean Sea. And then later, the first record was given in 1973 in the Adriatic Sea. And in years, it's invading Chesapeake Bay on the east coast of United States and the Rio de la Plata region in South America, and so on, so on. In the Black Sea, Rapana becomes mature at 2 years old and can live up to 9 years. Its spawning period is from July to September. Adults mainly feed on bivalves, and it can travel long distances to find food at certain times of the year. It buries itself in the soft sediment at the bottom of the sea. Invasion biology suggests that the most successful predators are those that have access to abundant food sources with sufficient ones and long survival, rapid growth, and higher reproduction. Rapana has high fecundity, a fast growth rate, and broad tolerance to salinity, temperature, eutrophication, and oxygen deficiency. In the Black Sea, Rapana fuels its success from an abundant array of bivalve species at food source and a lack of predators. According to the FAO catch statistics, fishing for Rapana was very small before it began in the Black Sea. Before the 1980s, Rapana was not considered very important, even its in native range. However, during the 1980s, political and economic relations between Turkey and Japan were very strong. Japanese officials, noticing the increasing numbers of Rapana in the Black Sea, and offered to open their market for exports because their highly valuable another sea snail stock was under heavy fishing pressure and decreasing at that time. So Japanese experts first checked that the meat quality, safety, and processing of Rapana met their standards and then helped set up the export market in Turkey. Today, the Black Sea is the only place where Rapana is fished, and with export including the meat and sometimes the shell and the operculum as they are sold in gift shops. After introduction of Rapana, predation on oyster and mussel communities lead their heavy collapse. The mussel beds in the southern and western part are heavily destroyed by the spread of Rapana. It destroyed oyster beds in the northern part, especially Kerch Strait, and also other shellfish species inhabiting until the 30 meters depth have also affected. Rapana fisheries first commenced with hookah and scuba diving method. Diving and collecting by hand were feasible because 75% of its population was found around 10 meters, and this method had no ecosystem impacts to the seafloor and zero bycatch. However, due to the development of its fisheries, fishing methods evolved to dredging or beam trawling, and those are small but very destructive fishing methods as they disturb habitat integrity, and their clogging net while they are towed caused very high bycatch, including commercial ones like turbot, thornback ray, and pig dogfish. So its fishing method is a concerning issue for the environment and the sustainability of this species. So Turkey was the first Black Sea country. To start fishing for Rapana in 1983, followed by Bulgaria about 10 years later, and then other countries around the Black Sea have also started fishing for Rapana. The Rapana fishery has made a significant contribution to both national and local economies, not just from the fishing itself, but also from the related supply chain. The profit of beam trawl Rapana fishing is much higher than its environmentally friendly fishing methods, as well as from bottom trawl vessels that target multiple species. So today, Rapana is one of the most commercially important species in the Black Sea and supporting thousands of fishers as well as workers and their families. In 2017, its export reached 12.5 million for total Black Sea. So finally, to effectively manage its fisheries in the Black Sea, Rapana has been announced one of the 7 priority commercial species by FAO GFCM in 2018. GFCM has started working towards a regional Rapana fisheries management plan aimed at maintaining the stock within safe biological limits. In the last 5 years, GFCM funding Rapana research program to conduct comprehensive studies, including its biology, population, and economic impact, and test management strategies to ensure its sustainable fisheries in the Black Sea. Okay, I think this is a great story for Rapana. Looking at its transoceanic journey, started around 1940s with introduction to Black Sea, and then it literally created its own fisheries in 1990s and achieved high revenue and created its own sector, including fisheries, processing, transporting, and finally ended up being priority species for considering its sustainability. Yeah, well, but Rapana creates a governance challenge with conflicting views on its management duties, varied impacts on marine ecosystems and coastal communities. The situation of Rapana in the Black Sea is a remarkable example illustrating some of the challenges in the management of invasive alien species. Controlling their adverse effect on the ecosystem through a fishery may be considered an appropriate ecological approach. While Rapana fishery provides economic benefits and supports marginalized communities, concern remain over the environmental damage caused by its main fishing method as dredging. So Rapana represents a classic example of a wicked problem in marine management, and solutions are not straightforward and require careful consideration of multiple factors. So I would like to acknowledge my team, Eileen, Taner, and Pınar, for their invaluable contributions. And this is our publication for Rapana. In case if you would like to get more details, please check. Thanks for your attention, and I wish you all a productive FishBase Symposium there.